Now, page 4, Trump, Putin, U.S.-Russia relations. Democrats in the U.S. Senate have now fallen in line with their counterparts in the House. They have completely abdicated their sworn constitutional duties and are now nothing more than political hack operatives who are advancing a radical ideology. That's it. There's no other conclusion that can be reached now. The Democrats on Capitol Hill are a bunch of ideological sellouts, all of them. Think about it. Is there a single constitutionally conservative Democrat in Congress? You don't have to be a Republican to be constitutionally conservative. Well, the answer is sadly no. Not a single Democrat holds ultimate fidelity to the Constitution over political party. And so the Democrats on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee have exposed themselves for what they are, non-constitutional partisans. They couldn't care less about the information that Secretary of State Mike Pompeo was delivering to them about U.S.-Russia relations. All they care about is getting Donald Trump, as evidenced by this Chuck Schumer sycophant hack senator from New Mexico, Tom Udall.
I'm happy to continue the list. I'm
happy. Yeah, so we have the Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, here listing off all of the ways the Trump administration is standing up to Russia, just the way these members of Congress want the president to do. But of course, the senators, the Democrat side, don't want to hear this because they don't want to hear the truth. All they want to do is follow their narrative that somehow that Donald Trump is unfit for office, that somehow Donald Trump is in the back pocket of Vladimir Putin, that somehow Vladimir Putin has some dirt on Donald Trump. That's their narrative. So again, they've fallen right in line with their counterparts in the House, who just last week talked about anything but Peter Strzok and his corruption at the FBI. Those people on the House panel, the Senate or the House Committee on Oversight and the House Judiciary Committee, the Democrats had no intention of trying to find out what was corrupt with Peter Strzok and how we could fix it, how we can fix our federal government. All they care about, once again, is advancing the narrative, and the narrative is some way to remove the 45th president from office. That's it. That's all they are, is a bunch of partisan hacks now, as evidenced by this give and take with Mike Pompeo and this hack from New Mexico. Roll tape.
Yeah, to cease there, but I will submit the entirety of this administration's actions against Russia for the record, if I might.
Please do.
We'll back a truck up and get it on in here.
Stop tape. So the Secretary of State's trying to make a joke there, right? But it's legitimate. This president has been tough on Russia. Look at what he did with NATO and standing up to Angela Merkel, saying, hey, why are you buying all these resources from Russia? You should be taking care of your own. For your national security, you should be producing your own energy. He produced deals at NATO. He's arming what are considered, I guess, possible enemies or at least adversaries of Russia. The Baltic states, he's supporting them. Poland supporting them. The Ukraine supporting them. He opposes the invasion of Crimea. He's gone to the wall to try and bolster the United States and its stance toward Russia. But it's never good enough for these people because they're not paying attention. They're not paying attention because they're focused on this one singular thing to get Donald Trump. Roll tape.
Candidate Trump has failed to keep his promise to disclose his tax returns.
Stop the tape. Now we're on taxes. Now we're back to Donald Trump's taxes. It's like these people have political Tourette's syndrome. Taxes, we got to have the taxes. There are more important things going on right now in the world, like North Korea and like China, than Donald Trump's taxes. Roll tape.
Presidential candidate since Richard Nixon has disclosed.
See, now, the left hates Richard Nixon. Although, I think with President Trump now, Nixon was number one for many years. Of course, Reagan was in there. I think it's Donald Trump is hated the most now. He's number one on the list. Nixon might be two and then Reagan three, but they're fighting over two and three. I think by far they hate Donald Trump more than both Reagan and Nixon. It's pretty clear. Roll tape.
Jimmy Carter even sold his peanut farm to avoid a conflict of interest.
Stop the tape. So it would have been nice if Jimmy Carter just stayed on the peanut farm, don't you think? Jimmy Carter was the worst president of our time until we have Barack Hussein Obama, who is now the worst president of our time. So he moved up or down a notch, depending on how you're keeping score at home. Roll tape.
Situation with President Trump's potential foreign policy conflicts of interest is unprecedented.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.